Hi, I'm Lorna Jackson. I'm a transpersonal hypnotherapist and soul regression therapist, trainer and author, and I'm from the Gold Coast, Australia. And together with my husband John, we operate a successful hypnotherapy practice from 2 locations on the Gold Coast and Brisbane since 2006. Now we're also hypnotherapy trainers teaching transpersonal hypnotherapy that includes our own unique therapy process, soul regression therapy, which includes hypnosis, past life and between life regression. And we've trained over 300 people to date and have also a trainer in Asia. Now I just want to talk to those of you who are considering having a soul regression session, either a past life or a between life regression. I just want to dispel some myths about what regression is and what to expect. Now, I'm sure many of you have read books on the subject, including ours, and perhaps watched videos about the extraordinary experiences possible with soul regression and past life regression. Now, during a session, some people travel to other worlds and dimensions, and some people connect to their higher self or soul self. They may speak to their spiritual guides and their loved ones. But the real magic of a soul regression session can take you to connect to your soul, where you can gain information about your soul's journey and a healing can occur. Now, many people who come for a session with me or with one of our trained soul regression therapists come with very high expectations. And often they're not very realistic. They've read the books and the case studies, and they think they're going to have the same experiences that they've read about. Now, this is not going to happen to everybody, exactly like in the books, because we are just too individual, and we can't all fit the same pattern. Now, many people, when having hypnosis, think they will be unconscious during the regression, and they think they won't remember anything afterwards. Now, this is very unlikely. Hypnosis is not sleep. You won't lose your memory when you're hypnotized, and you won't lose your hearing. Now, a lot of people think they will have spectacular life regressions, like in the books. They'll have an alien life on different planets, biblical lives, lives as queens or kings, or famous people in history, like Cleopatra, or find their twin flame or a soulmate. But instead, they get a basic life, a simple, ordinary life. Now, 90% of past lives are going to be simple, dull, and boring. They expect to experience the wonderful material that's written in the books. Now, this doesn't happen with everybody. It depends on the development of the client. It depends on what they're looking for. It depends on what the subconscious part of them thinks they need to see or know and need to have for their lives right now. Now, the stories in the books will not benefit the average client. It may be just a dull, boring life they have to go through that has the same people in it, the same karmic connections. Now, there's always something in there that they need to know, because the subconscious picks the most appropriate life for them to look at. Now, I want my clients to come with an understanding and not such a big expectation. They get what they need. And I have many clients who ask, will they remember anything of the session? And like I said, I tell them that I just don't know. We just have to wait and see what happens in the session. So I don't come with too high expectations, because you will get what you're supposed to get to help you in this life. And that's the most important thing. Now, as much as I desire to help every client that comes to see me, there are times when it simply just doesn't work for them. Often they have a wonderful past life and a healing has taken place, but afterwards they think nothing has happened. In fact, some say they're worse than they were before coming. And sometimes it works for a short while and then they go back to how they were before. Now, it may be months later and of course they blame me. This is much easier than taking responsibility for themselves. It's always easier to put the blame outside rather than acknowledging that they have created their own reality. Even through their reality, though their reality is not pleasant, it is what they've manifested. Now, this is the power of the human mind. This is why the power of the mind should be to heal rather than to be destructive. Now, they come to see me with such out of proportion expectations, and they're looking for someone else to heal them. And I try to make it very clear that I don't do the healing, they do. I'm the facilitator to guide them to the healing. Now, I always teach this in my courses to our students, that the minute the student thinks that they are doing the healing, then it's their own ego taking over. And this is going to hinder the whole process. I'm only the willing servant to aid the process. Now, these cases are rare, but they do happen, and we all have free will, and no one can ever override that. Because the soul self may say they're healed and live a normal life, but if the client won't accept it and believe it and trust it, there's nothing anyone can do. Because free will is the most important part. Now, some clients say there is not more pain, but it's too good to be true. And this attitude causes it to return. Another client said, I can't be healed. I have been sick all my life, and I'll never be well. Now, these are all self-fulfilling prophecies. And if the client wants to continue in this reality, there is nothing anyone can do about it. There is also the possibility of self-punishment over some perceived guilt. People are complicated creatures, but the final result lies with the client and their belief system. We know in metaphysics, and especially in my type of work, we make a plan and contracts before coming into this lifetime. We agree to the type of situation we would live in, but sometimes our situations are difficult. Yet we insist and hope for the best, because we forget our plan once we enter the physical body. We forget we arrange things in order for us to learn from them. And if we don't learn, then we have to take the lesson over again. This is the law of karma. This is the way the earth school is run. Now we have to come back and do it again all over with the same people, same circumstances, until you pass the grade in school. It's complicated, but I don't make the rules. My work is to help people to understand what they're doing to themselves. And there are other people who don't want to be healed because they secretly enjoy the illness and what it does for them. Now, they would never admit to this consciously, but we all know people who are always sick, complaining about the pain, the problems, but secretly enjoying the attention it gives them. Now, usually they have nothing else in their lives and they enjoy the attention. And if they were healed, their identity would be taken away and they would feel they had nothing. It is the only thing that makes them feel special and different. And if the person is benefiting from an illness, well, they will be reluctant to release it. So my responsibility for the client ends when they have walked out of my door, of my clinic, and the rest is up to them. To be healed, people need to be able to accept it, to want it, and to believe it's possible. Now, all we can do is the best we can and have compassion for the client and use all of the skills that we have to help them. And after that, well, it's their responsibility. Nothing is beyond the realms of possibility. There are no limitations except the limitations of your own imagination. Now, I hope this has helped you. I'm Lorna Jackson. My website is soulregressiontherapy.com.au. So please click the like button and press subscribe. Thanks for watching.